doubled in a decade. John Carroll talks about the good old days when he was a teenager. He would actually look forward to going home and actually go out and play tennis or cricket or something. He was excited to be physically active, and this is how it used to be in the old days. And another problem with video game addiction is the fact that it emphasizes a lot of violence. There's a lot of games in today's society that are first-person shooting games. There's games where there's no point except just to go out and kill people, and these games actually hurt people. In the article, games like Halo are turning your kids into little devils by Joanne Coleside. She talks about how there's been a study where people who play the game Halo or any Counter-Strike first-person shooting game, they have a more aggressive nature. They come out very aggressive with their style, how they talk. I have a personal experience. When I was a kid, there was a PC cafe next to my middle school that I used to go to almost every day because of the fact I love playing games. I used to go there and play a game called Counter-Strike, and there was always clan battles at that cafe. And one of the days there were two clans battling each other out, and things started heating up because one of the persons killed the other person before the round started. And once it got heated up, people got up off of their chairs, started yelling at each other. They actually went outside, started fighting. Once they started fighting, the cops came, broke the fight up, and one of the kids was actually injured bad because of the fact that someone stabbed him with a butterfly knife right into his thighs. It was kind of scary watching this as I was there, but that's one of the problems that can cause. Now that we talked about the problems of video game abuse, let's talk about some of the causes. One of the biggest causes of video game abuse is the fact that there's new video game systems out. In the article, Gamers, Your World is Changing, Phil Valeri talks about how PS3 is the latest gaming system out. It can virtually play almost any game. It has a 3.5 gigahertz processor. It has Blu-ray capabilities. It can hook up to HDTV 1080p. If you guys don't know what that is, that's the highest it goes in HDTV right now. And pretty much, if you guys don't have HDTV, it's very surreal when you're actually watching TV on HDTV. You actually feel like you're there in real life. And this is what technology does. It's increasing. But the problem with this is that it actually makes young children think that all this is real, and they're having fun, and the more they play, the more they get addicted. On top of that, there's games out there, role-playing games, take children into the fact that they actually start living someone else's life. They start playing the games, and they get so stuck in that world that sometimes they're not able to come out of it. One of the good examples of this game is World of Warcraft. I know I have a few friends who are completely stuck into the game. They never go out, they never go party. I call them, they're like, oh, I'm playing WoW. Cool, man, have fun. And that's how it works out. Another problem is, cause is that video games have become a lot more popular. And because of this, in the article, Video Games Industry Sale Rises to $12.5 billion, it actually said that just in the year of 2006, the revenue of the video game industry has went up by 19%, which is a big number, and I'm confident that it's even higher now. And what this does is it gives a lot of money into the video games company to do something with it. And what they mainly do is they advertise in televisions, advertise in stores. Now, I know at one point in our lives, one of us has seen a television, and at top of that, we probably have seen a video game commercial on the television. And now this commercial has been sent out to all the people in the world, in the nation. And kids see it, kids want to buy it, and they complain to their parents, and they eventually end up buying the system, or the game. Now that we talked about some of the causes of video game addiction, let's talk about some of the solutions. One of the basic solutions we can do is just be active. being active, I don't know, make a kid play games early in their lives, something like tennis, football, soccer, something they like. Even put them into music. Do something that keeps them away from just sitting down in a chair and just playing games consistently. Let's say they play a sport. There's so many advantages to this. Let's talk about tennis. As they play tennis, they're getting a lot of cardiovascular exercise, which will help them stay physically in shape. Mentally wise, tennis is a mentally challenging sport. You have to be very confident about what you're doing and you have to be focused. That focus is going to relate back into their school. And if your kids really don't want to play sports and they don't want to do any of that, then you can try to be a mean parent, and almost all the television sets now have a code you can put into your TV which can lock the TV out. Or you can set a certain amount of time the TV can be on. If you guys can do that and you're not home and your kids are home, your kids will play games for 2 hours and the TV will shut off on them. Once they're done playing games, what do kids like to do? They like to go out and play. So either they'll go out and play and be active, or they'll go do their homework, they'll go read a book, they'll go hang out with friends, they'll be socially active, they won't isolate themselves. So now that we've talked about the problems of video game abuse, some of the causes of video game abuse, and some of the solutions of video game abuse, let's see what we can do with this. Christmas is coming up, and one of my first thought was, I'm going to buy my best friend this video game that he really wants. And then I did the research, and in my opinion, if you're going to go out there and try to buy someone something, try to buy them something that promotes activity, like a basketball, a football. Something that's going to make them want to go out and play with their new shiny toy.